Hello students, once again welcome you. Today we are going to study the remaining properties of determinants. In the last class already we have studied the three properties of determinants. Let me remind you, or let me revise the first three properties of determinants. The first property we have studied is, in a determinant, if all rows and columns are interchanged, the value of the determinant is not altered, meaning it remains same. And the second properties of a determinants is, in a determinant, if any two rows or columns are interchanged, the value of the determinants changes in its sign. Likewise, the third property of a determinant is, in a determinant, if any two rows or two columns are identical, then the value of the determinant is 0. Now today we are going to study the few more properties which are important for solving the tedious examples on determinants. Let me begin with the fourth property of a determinant. If each element of row or column of a determinant is multiplied by some constant k, then its value gets multiplied by the same constant k. Let me verify this property. Let me begin with one determinant denoted by the notation delta is equal to, this determinant is of order 3 cross 3. Let delta is equal to the first row containing the elements a1, b1, c1. Second row elements are a2, b2, c2. And the third row elements are a3, b3, c3. Let me evaluate this determinant along the first row. That is already we have seen in the first two lectures. The delta remains same. That is equal to, let me evaluate this determinant along the first row. Therefore, the first row, first element is a1. Deleting that row and column consisting a1, we have the elements like a1 into the bracket we are deleting the first row, first column. We are left with second order determinant a1 into b2 c3 minus b3 c2. Therefore, we have a1 into b2 c3 minus b3 c2. Before I go to the next element of the same row, minus sign, and b1. Deleting that row and column consisting b1, we are left with the elements a2, c2. Third row elements are a3, c3. Therefore, b1 into a2, c3 minus a3, c2. Similarly, plus, before I go to the next element of the same row, I take the plus sign. Plus c1 into, deleting the row and column consisting c1, we are left with the four elements. We are reducing the third order into the second order determinant. Therefore, c1 into a2 b3 minus a3 b1. We have the element like a2 b3 minus a3 b2. The property says, if this determinant is multiplied by some constant with any row or column, then that constant will get multiplied to a given determinant. Let delta 1 be the determinant obtained by multiplying the elements of the first row by k. Now this is the new delta we are getting, denoted by the notation delta 1. And this delta 1 be the determinant obtained by multiplying the elements of the first row by constant k. Then we have delta 1 is equal to the first row is multiplied by the some constant k to the given determinant. Therefore k into a1, k into b1, k into c1. Second row elements are a2, b2, c2. Third row elements are a3, b3, c3. Now let me expand this delta 1 along the first row. Then we get the elements like delta 1 is equal to deleting the row, that is ka1, it is in the first row, first column. We are left with the second order determinant, and then we have b1 c3 minus b3 c2. I repeat, b2 c3 minus b3 c2. That element we have here. Before I go to the next element of the same row, we multiplied with a minus sign. Therefore, minus of kb1. Deleting the first row and second column, we are left with the second order determinants with the elements like a2, c2, a3, c3. Therefore, a2, c3 minus a3, c2, that will get in the second element. Before I go to the next element of the same row, we have the plus sign into kc1. Therefore, deleting that row and column consisting kc1, we are left with the second order determinant with the elements like a2, b2 and a3, b3. Therefore, the left top to right bottom, a2, b3 minus a3, b2. Now, my dear students, we have expanded the determinant delta 1 along the first row. Now, if you observe, in the delta 1, there is a k common in the value of the determinant delta 1. Let me take the common k constant outside. We are left with a1 into b2 c3 minus b3 c2 minus of b1 into a2 c3 minus, that is a2 c3 a3 c2 plus c1 into, we have the k is already taken outside, c1 into a2 b3 minus a3 b2. Now this value stands for, k remains the same. The value of this right hand side is nothing but the value of the determinant delta, that is containing the elements a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. Therefore, delta 1 is equal to k times delta. But here delta is nothing but the value of the given determinant, and that determinant is multiplied by the constant k. Then constant k into the value of the determinant, both are equal. Thus, the verification of the second property, that is the fourth property of a determinant, is completed. Let me begin with the fifth property of a determinant. If some or all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more determinants. Dear students, the statement of this property is, in a determinant, if any row or column is expressed as the sum of two or more terms, then the such determinant can be written as sum of two determinants. Therefore, a2 plus k2, a3 plus k3. Let me begin with the verification. Let delta is equal to a1 plus k1, a2 plus k2, a3 plus k3. The first row is consisting the sum of two terms. The second row elements are B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Now let me expanding this determinant along the first row. Therefore, the first row first element is A1, K1. Therefore, A1 plus K1. Deleting that row and column consisting A1 plus K1, we are left with the second order determinant with elements B2, B3, C2, C3. Therefore, left top to right bottom, B2, C3. Here it is B2, C3 minus C2, B3. Similarly, before I go to the next element of the same row, we have the elements like A2, A2 into deleting the row and column consisting the element, deleting the row and column consisting the element A2 plus K2. We are left with the second order determinant B1, B2, then C1, C3 it is. B1, B3, C1, C3. Then before I go to the next element of the same row, plus deleting the row and column consisting A3 plus K3, we are left with the second order determinant B1, B2, C1, C2. Now evaluating this determinants, second order determinants, we have first we will multiply A1 to the determinant B2, B3, C2, C3. Also let me multiply minus A2 to the determinant B1, B3, C1, C3 plus A3 into B1, B2, C1, C2. Similarly, we will multiply by K1 to the same determinant minus K2 to the another determinant and K3 to the last determinant. Then their product we have written in the another bracket. Here it is. Therefore, the value of the first term is the value of the determinant containing the elements A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Plus, we have the plus sign here, and this is the determinant which is obtained. This is the value of the determinant which is obtained from the determinant. The first row elements are K1, K2, K3. That is in the first row. And second row elements are B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Therefore, in this property, we have studied that in a determinant, if any row or column consisting sum of two or more terms, then such a determinant can be expressed as the sum of two or more determinants. Now, moving to the next property, the sixth property of a determinant. If to each element of any row or column of a determinant, the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other row or column are added, then the value of the determinants remains the same. Meaning, if the statement or the properties, if any row or a column is added or subtracted with some other row with some constant, then the value of the determinants remains the same. That is, the value of the determinants remains same if I apply the property like R1 changes to or Ri changes to Ri plus K times Rj, or Ci changes to Ci plus K times Cj. Now my dear students, let me have the verification of this theorem, which is containing the elements of this theorem. Let delta is equal to, it's a determinant by the element delta is equal to the first two elements are A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Now as we know, in this property we are going to add k times some other row. Let delta 1 be the determinant which is obtained by, here we are going to change the first row as first row R1 is replaced by R1 plus k times some other row, either R2 or R3. Here I have taken R1 changes to R1 plus k times R2. Means we have to add the corresponding elements of the first row with k times the corresponding elements of the another row. In this case, the value of the determinants remains same. Now let me begin with this property. Let delta 1 is equal to a1 plus k times the corresponding elements of R2, that is a1 plus k times b1, a2 plus k times the second row element, that is a2 plus k times b2, and a3 plus k times the corresponding elements of the second row is b3. Therefore it is a1 plus k b1, a2 plus k b2, and a3 plus k b3. Now just now the fifth property we have seen that, in the fifth property we have seen that if any determinant consists of the sum of two or more terms, then such determinants can be expressed as the algebraic sum of two or more determinants. By using the fifth property of determinant, we can write delta 1 is equal to a1 in the first row, b1, b2, b3 in the second row, c1, c2 and c3 in the third row, plus, since it is by fifth property, we have the another determinant with the first row elements are kb1 plus kb2 plus kb3, that is kb1, kb2, kb3. The second row remains the same, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. Now delta 1 is obtained by sum of two determinants, and in this case also the value of the determinants remains same. Now moving to the next part. By using the fourth property, delta 1 can be expressed as the first determinants remains the same, that is a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3 plus k times. By using the fourth property, this is by fourth property, not by the third property, it is by fourth property. If any row or column consisting some constant multiplied by k, then the k will multiply to the value of the whole determinant. Therefore, let me take the k common from the previous slide. It was kb1, kb2, kb3. We have taken k from the first row outside, b1, b2, b3, b1, b2, b3 in the second row also, and c1, c2, c3. Now the first row remains the same, this determinant remains the same, plus k times. If you observe the right hand side, the second determinant, by using the third property of determinant b1, b2, b3 and b1, b2, the two rows are identical. By third property of determinant, r1 and r2 are identical. In such case, the value of the determinants is always 0. Therefore, k into 0 is again a 0, plus 0 it is. Therefore, the first determinant is same. That is, a delta 1 is equal to a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3 and c1, c2, c3. In this case, delta 1 can be written as again delta. Therefore, the meaning of this property is, if in a determinant any row is added or subtracted k times the corresponding elements of the sum row or column, once again the value of the determinants remains same. Therefore, we can write here the another property, the property number 7. The property number 5 and 6 both are important for the examination, and remaining properties are very important to solve the problems. Now this is a very simple property, 7th and 8th property. Just we go through this property so that we can understand the meaning, and also we can use this property to solve the problems. If each element of a row or column of a determinant is 0, then its value is 0. The statement says, or the property says, if any row or column consisting all zeros, the value of the determinant is 0. This is of the second order example, and this question is, or this problem is of third order. The first row consists of all zeros, therefore the value of the determinant is always 0. Moving to the next property, property number 8. In a determinant, if all the elements on one side of the principal diagonal, this is our principal diagonal, all the elements of the principal diagonal, one side of the principal diagonal elements are zeros, then the value of the determinant is equal to the product of the diagonal elements or principal diagonal elements. Now the principal diagonal elements are 1, 7, 6. If the upper triangular or lower triangular of determinants are zeros, then the value of that determinant can be written as the product of the principal diagonal elements, that is 1 into 7 into 6, 1 7 is 7, 7 6 is 48. Similarly, we can see the one more example here. This is the another example. The first row elements containing 2 0 zeros, second row elements are 6 5 0, the third row elements are 10 0 8. In the upper part of the principal diagonal elements are zeros, therefore the value of this determinant is always the product of the diagonal elements, and the product of the diagonal elements are 2 into 5 into 8, which is equal to 80. These are the total 8 properties on determinants. These properties will help you to solve the examples. My dear students, I conclude my today's lecture. If you have any queries or doubts, please contact the given below number. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.